In a galaxy far away, there was a skilled alien assassin named Zorath. He lived on a dark and cold planet called Drathor. Zorath was known for his quick reflexes and deadly accuracy. He had completed many missions for the Galactic Council, an organization that controlled many planets and species. The council was powerful, and everyone feared them. One day, Zorath received a new mission. He was called to a secret meeting in a dimly lit chamber filled with alien leaders. They were tall, with shiny skin and glowing eyes. The air was tense as they discussed a growing threat. "Humans," one leader said. "They are becoming too powerful. We must eliminate them before they become a real danger." Zorath listened carefully. The council wanted him to go to Earth, a small blue planet filled with humans. They believed humans were weak and easy to kill. The council thought that by taking out the humans, they would maintain their control over the galaxy. Zorath felt uneasy. He had heard stories about humans and their fierce spirit, but he pushed those thoughts aside. When Zorath arrived on Earth, he landed his sleek ship in a remote area surrounded by tall trees. He activated his camouflage, making himself invisible to anyone nearby. He stepped out and looked around. The air was fresh, and the sounds of birds filled his ears. It was different from the cold, harsh world he knew. Zorath quickly found a group of humans gathered in a small village. They were preparing for a festival, laughing and sharing food. For a moment, Zorath watched them in awe. They were happy and full of life, and he felt a strange connection to them. But he shook his head, reminding himself of his mission. He was here to kill them. As night fell, Zorath moved closer to the village. He carefully selected his target, a young man named Leo. Zorath had learned that Leo was a local hero known for protecting his people. The council believed that if they took out someone important, the rest would fall in line. Zorath set up his sniper rifle, aimed, and waited for the perfect moment. Suddenly, Leo stood up and shouted, "We must stay strong! The future of our village depends on us." The crowd cheered, their spirits high. Zorath felt a flicker of doubt. These were not weak beings. They were fighters, ready to protect their home. Zorath's finger hovered over the trigger. He thought of the council's orders and the consequences of failing his mission. But as he looked through the scope, he saw the determination in Leo's eyes. Zorath hesitated. What if he didn't follow through? Would he become the hunted instead? Just then, a loud noise erupted from the sky. Zorath turned to see a large ship belonging to the council descending rapidly. Panic spread through the village as bright lights illuminated the night. Zorath knew the council had come to check on him. He realized they would not wait for him to complete his mission. With a heavy heart, Zorath made a decision. He could not kill Leo. Instead, he would warn the humans about the danger coming their way. He quickly packed up his equipment and disappeared into the shadows. As he fled the village, Zorath felt a sense of relief mixed with fear. He was breaking the rules of the council, but he couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to humans than the council understood. He had seen their strength and spirit. Zorath knew that this was only the beginning. He had to learn more about humans and their ways. Perhaps he could find a way to protect them instead of destroying them. He ran deeper into the woods, determined to uncover the truth behind the humans' fierce resilience. Zorath ran through the dense forest, his heart pounding in his chest. He could still hear the cheers of the humans and see Leo's determined face in his mind. The council's ship hovered ominously above the village, casting a long shadow. Zorath knew he had to move quickly. The council would not be pleased with his decision to spare the human's life. After running for what felt like hours, Zorath finally found a quiet cave hidden behind a waterfall. He stepped inside, grateful for the darkness that surrounded him. Zorath sat down on the cool ground, breathing heavily as he tried to collect his thoughts. The village had changed him in ways he never expected. He had seen strength in humans, and now he needed to learn more. Using a small device from his belt, Zorath activated a holographic screen. He began searching for information about humans. The device showed various images and texts, but the most interesting part was an ancient archive about human history. Zorath knew this could be dangerous, but he felt compelled to learn. As he read through the archives, Zorath was shocked. He discovered that humans had fought many battles against powerful enemies throughout history. They were often outnumbered and outgunned, yet they refused to give up. The stories spoke of great leaders who inspired their people, of men and women who sacrificed everything for freedom. Zorath felt a stirring in his heart. These were not the weak beings the council believed them to be. One story caught his eye. It was about a group of humans who banded together during a great war. They faced advanced alien technology and overwhelming odds. Despite their struggles, they used their cleverness and teamwork to outsmart their enemies. They created traps, developed new strategies, and never lost hope. Zorath realized that humans were resourceful and brave. They were willing to fight for what they believed in, even when the situation seemed hopeless. As Zorath continued to read, he learned about the importance of family and community among humans. They supported each other through difficult times, showing a bond that was rare among other species. This sense of unity was something Zorath had never seen before. He began to understand why Leo had inspired so much loyalty in his village. With each story, Zorath's respect for humans grew. He felt a strong desire to protect them from the Council's plans. He knew he had to act fast. If the Council discovered his disobedience, he would be in serious danger. They would not let a traitor live. Determined to warn the humans, Zorath decided to leave the safety of the cave. He needed to find Leo and share what he had learned. As he stepped outside, the sun was rising, casting a golden light across the forest. Zorath felt a sense of hope wash over him. Perhaps he could help these humans fight back against the Council. Zorath retraced his steps back to the village, moving quickly but cautiously. He had to be careful not to draw attention to himself. The Council's ship was still nearby, and he could sense their watchful presence. When he finally reached the village, Zorath was relieved to see it was still bustling with activity. The festival was in full swing, and the humans were laughing and celebrating. Zorath felt a surge of admiration for their spirit. Despite the danger lurking above, they continued with their lives. He knew he needed to speak with Leo immediately. Zorath approached the center of the village where Leo was talking to a group of people. They were listening intently, hanging on his every word. Zorath felt a mix of excitement and fear. He had to convince Leo that the Council posed a real threat. "Leo!" Zorath called out, stepping forward. The humans turned to look at him, surprise evident on their faces. Leo met Zorath's gaze, recognizing him from the night before. "What do you want?" Leo asked, a hint of caution in his voice. Zorath took a deep breath. "I need to talk to you about the Council. They plan to attack your village. You are in great danger." The crowd fell silent, tension filling the air. Zorath could see the concern in Leo's eyes as he awaited an explanation. Zorath knew he had to make them believe him. The future of the village depended on it. Zorath stood in the center of the village, surrounded by curious and worried humans. Leo stared at him, waiting for more information. The atmosphere was tense. Zorath knew he had to speak quickly before the Council's ship decided to make its move. "The Council is coming," Zorath said urgently. "They want to eliminate all humans, starting with this village. I witnessed their plans. You must prepare to defend yourselves." Leo narrowed his eyes, trying to process Zorath's words. "Why should we trust you? You are an assassin. You were sent to kill us." Zorath felt a pang of regret. He understood why Leo was suspicious. He had been trained to kill, but now he wanted to protect. "I didn't follow through with my mission. I saw your strength, your spirit. I realized that the Council is wrong about humans." The villagers murmured among themselves, their faces a mix of fear and uncertainty. Finally, Leo stepped forward. "If what you say is true, we need a plan. But we can't just rely on you. We need to gather our people and prepare for the worst." Zorath nodded, grateful for Leo's willingness to listen. "I can help you. I know the Council's tactics and strategies. Together we can outsmart them." As they spoke, a shadow loomed above them. Zorath looked up to see the Council's ship hovering closer. His heart raced. They were here sooner than he expected. Panic surged through the crowd as they realized the danger. "We need to move," Leo shouted. "Gather everyone! Prepare for an attack!" Zorath and Leo worked together to rally the villagers. They organized groups, assigning tasks to fortify the village. Some gathered weapons while others set up defenses. Zorath felt a sense of purpose as he helped the humans prepare for the coming battle. He admired their determination and bravery. But as the preparations continued, Zorath felt a nagging fear in his mind. The Council had eyes everywhere. They might already know he was there, and they would not hesitate to strike. As the sun began to set, Zorath noticed something strange. A figure moved silently through the trees, watching the village from a distance. Zorath's instincts kicked in. He quietly approached the figure, his heart pounding. To his shock, it was another assassin from the Council, a fierce warrior named Tarek, who was once Zorath's mentor. Tarek had always been ruthless and skilled. Zorath had never expected him to be sent after him. "Tarek!" Zorath whispered, stepping closer. "What are you doing here?" Tarek's eyes narrowed, a cruel smile spreading across his face. "I'm here to finish what you started, Zorath. The Council knows you've turned against them. You can't hide from us." Zorath's heart sank. He had to warn Leo and the villagers. "You can't do this. They are innocent. They don't deserve to die." Tarek laughed, a cold sound that sent chills down Zorath's spine. "Innocent? They are a threat to the Council, and you are a traitor. You think they will let you go just because you have grown fond of these humans? You're weak, Zorath." Zorath felt anger boil within him. "I am not weak. I am fighting for what is right." Before he could react, Tarek lunged at him with his weapon drawn. Zorath barely managed to dodge, and they began to fight. The sound of clashing weapons echoed through the trees, and Zorath knew he had to finish this quickly. He could not let Tarek warn the Council. Suddenly, a group of villagers appeared, drawn by the noise. Zorath's heart raced. "Run! Get back!" he shouted, trying to protect them. But it was too late. Tarek turned his attention to the humans, his eyes gleaming with malicious intent. In that moment, Zorath realized the true danger. Tarek was here to eliminate him and the humans. Zorath felt a surge of determination. He could not let Tarek harm them. With a fierce strike, Zorath knocked Tarek's weapon away. But just as he was about to finish the fight, Tarek managed to escape into the darkness, leaving Zorath shaken and frustrated. "Zorath!" Leo called, running up to him. "What happened?" Zorath took a deep breath, trying to calm himself. "Tarek was here. He knows about the village. We have to move fast. The Council will not give up." Fear spread among the villagers. They had trusted Zorath, but now they faced an even greater threat. Zorath felt the weight of his betrayal hanging over him. He had led them into danger, and he had to protect them no matter the cost. As the night fell over the village, Zorath felt the weight of his decisions pressing heavily on his shoulders. He had brought danger to the humans, and now they needed to prepare for an attack from the Council. The villagers gathered around a large fire, their faces illuminated by the flickering flames. Zorath stood at the front, Leo beside him, trying to calm the worried crowd. "We have to stay strong," Leo said, his voice steady. "Zorath has seen the enemy. We know they are coming for us. Now is the time to unite and fight back." The villagers nodded, their expressions shifting from fear to determination. Zorath admired their spirit. He knew that working together was their only chance of survival. But he also understood that they needed more than just courage. They needed allies. "We cannot fight the Council alone," Zorath explained. "They are powerful and well-organized. We must find other villages and convince them to join us. If we form a larger alliance, we can stand a chance against them." Leo looked thoughtful. "We can send messengers to nearby villages. Some may have faced the Council before. If they know we are fighting back, they might be willing to help us." Zorath felt a spark of hope. "Yes! But we need to be careful. The Council has eyes everywhere. We cannot risk anyone being captured." As the villagers began to discuss their plan, Zorath felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. He had been an assassin, trained to kill and destroy. Now he was fighting to protect life. It was a new role, but one he was willing to embrace. The next morning, Leo gathered a small group of brave villagers. They would travel to nearby settlements, spreading the word of the Council's threat. Zorath volunteered to go with them. He needed to prove his loyalty to the humans and help forge this alliance. As they set off, the group traveled through thick forests and rolling hills. Zorath felt the weight of the mission on his shoulders. They reached the first village by midday, a small community nestled in a valley. The villagers were suspicious at first, but Leo spoke passionately about the Council's threat. "We need your help," Leo pleaded. "The Council plans to attack us. If we do not join forces, we will all fall to their might." A tall woman stepped forward, her expression serious. "Why should we trust you? You are a human and a stranger to us. What proof do you have that this is true?" Zorath took a deep breath. "I am Zorath, an assassin for the Council. I turned against them because I believe in what these humans stand for. I have seen their strength and resilience. Together we can fight back." The villagers exchanged uncertain glances. After a moment, the woman nodded. "If what you say is true, then we will stand with you. But you must be ready to defend us as well." Zorath felt a rush of gratitude. "Thank you. We will protect each other. They spent the night in the village, sharing stories and strategies. Zorath felt a bond forming among them. The humans were resourceful and clever, and they shared a determination that inspired him. The next day, they traveled to another nearby village. This time, they were met with more hostility. The villagers were scared and refused to listen. "We do not want to be involved in your fight," one man shouted. "The council will come for us if we join you." Zorath stepped forward, his heart racing. "If you do not join us, you will face the council alone. They will come for you, and you will be defenseless. We are your best chance for survival." The tension in the air was thick. After a long pause, a young woman spoke up. "We are tired of living in fear. We need to fight back. If you promise to protect us, then we will join your cause." Zorath felt a surge of hope. "We will protect each other, I swear it." With the new allies by their side, Zorath and the group continued their mission. They traveled from village to village, spreading the word and gathering more supporters. Each time they shared their story, they grew stronger. Zorath was amazed at the unity forming among the villagers. Finally, after days of travel, they returned to Leo's village. They had successfully formed an alliance with 3 neighboring villages. Zorath stood before the gathered crowd, feeling a swell of pride. "Together we are no longer just individuals. We are a united front against the council. They will see our strength, and they will know they cannot defeat us." The villagers cheered, their voices echoing through the night. Zorath felt a sense of belonging that he had never experienced before. He had chosen this path, and now he was ready to fight alongside the humans. They were no longer just strangers. They were allies bound by a common cause. The day of the final showdown arrived, and the air was thick with tension. Zorath stood at the edge of the village, looking out over the horizon. He could see the dark shapes of the council's ships approaching, casting shadows over the land. The time for action had come. The allied villages had united, preparing for this moment. Zorath felt a mix of fear and excitement. He had never fought for a cause like this before. Now, he stood with brave humans who were ready to protect their homes. Leo approached him, determination etched on his face. "We need to get everyone into position. We have traps set up around the village, but we need to stay alert. The council will not hold back." Zorath nodded, feeling a surge of resolve. "We must be smart about this. They may try to divide us. We need to fight together." As the sun began to rise, the villagers took their positions. They hid behind trees, boulders, and makeshift barriers. Zorath and Leo stood at the front, ready to lead their people into battle. The sound of engines roared in the distance, and the ground shook as the council's ships landed. From the ships emerged a group of alien soldiers, their armor gleaming in the sunlight. They moved with precision, scanning the area for any signs of resistance. Zorath felt his heart race. This was it. They had come to eliminate the humans, but they would face a united front. "Ready?" Leo asked, gripping his weapon tightly. Zorath took a deep breath. "Ready." With a signal from Leo, the villagers sprang into action. They launched arrows and projectiles at the alien soldiers who were taken by surprise. The first wave of attack was successful, but the council's soldiers quickly regrouped. Zorath fought alongside Leo, using all his training as an assassin. He darted through the chaos, taking down aliens with swift strikes. The humans fought bravely, using their surroundings to their advantage. Zorath was amazed at their courage. They were not just fighting for their lives, they were fighting for each other. But the council's soldiers were relentless. They pushed forward, using their advanced weapons to retaliate. Zorath saw one of the allied villagers fall, and anger surged within him. He had to protect them. "Stay together!" Zorath shouted, trying to rally the villagers. "We can't let them break our lines!" As the battle raged on, Zorath noticed Tarek among the council's soldiers. The sight of his former mentor sent a wave of dread through him. Tarek was skilled and ruthless, and he was determined to eliminate Zorath for his betrayal. "Tarek!" Zorath called out, anger and defiance in his voice. "This ends now!" Tarek smirked, a cruel glint in his eyes. "You think you can win, Zorath? You're a fool to think humans can stand against the council." With that, Tarek charged at Zorath. The two former allies clashed in a fierce battle, weapons clashing and sparks flying. Zorath fought with everything he had, recalling the lessons Tarek had taught him. But this time he was fighting for a different cause, one that was worth protecting. Meanwhile, the battle continued to rage around them. Leo fought valiantly, leading the villagers against the council's soldiers. They had taken down several aliens, but the fight was far from over. The villagers' determination fueled Zorath's resolve. He could not let them down. As he struggled against Tarek, Zorath felt a surge of strength. "You don't understand," he shouted between strikes. "These humans have shown me what it means to fight for something greater. You're blinded by the Council's power." Tarek sneered. "You've become weak. You'll never win." With a final desperate push, Zorath disarmed Tarek, knocking his weapon away. Tarek stumbled back, his eyes filled with shock. Zorath stood over him, breathing heavily. "It's time to stop this madness, Tarek. Join us or be defeated." The words hung in the air, and for a moment Tarek hesitated. But then, with a furious snarl, he lunged at Zorath once more. Zorath was ready. With a swift motion, he ended the fight, leaving Tarek on the ground. The battle around them began to turn in favor of the villagers. They fought with fierce determination, their unity overpowering the Council's soldiers. Zorath felt a surge of pride as he watched them stand together, fearless in the face of danger. Finally, the last of the Council's soldiers fell and silence filled the air. Zorath looked around at the exhausted but victorious villagers. They had fought for their homes, their families, and each other. Leo approached Zorath, a wide smile on his face. "We did it! We fought back and won!" Zorath nodded, feeling a deep sense of relief and gratitude. "Together, we are stronger than they ever thought possible. This is just the beginning of our fight for freedom." As the sun set, painting the sky in brilliant colors, the villagers celebrated their victory. Zorath felt a warmth in his heart. He had found his place among them. He was no longer just an assassin. He was part of a family united in a common cause.